Whether you are a business owner looking to expand his business or just simply looking for an urban mobility solution, in today's video I have something special for you guys. This is Tata Magic Express, which can be used as a commercial vehicle. Well, this is not the first time that Tata Magic is here. It was already in the market, but yes, it is the first time that this comes with bi-fuel powertrain. So this bi-fuel powertrain can actually make this vehicle really very economical, especially in tier 2 and tier 3 cities across India, which is why in this video we are going to talk about the benefits of the iCNG technology that's built in, and I'm going to give you a very brief walk around of this vehicle as well. Let's begin. Let's notice the important things that are there on the front panel of this vehicle. The first thing that you'll see is the reflector strip that's there. Let's talk about the headlamp cluster. You get indicators here, you get halogen lamps here, and just in case you want fog lamps to be installed, so you can actually get it installed here on this position. You'll get to see the honeycomb grille right here. The badgings are mentioned for the Magic and Express model. The Tata moniker is also mentioned at the center. Let's move on to the side profile. This is how the vehicle looks from the sides. The first thing that you'll notice is the CNG moniker on the side doors. You'll also see that, let me show you how the door looks. There is manual mechanism for the windows as well. Other than that, you get some spotty accents right here. The CNG fuel lid is here, and then you get the rear door. So do you see this step-up ladder? You get it on one of the sides of the vehicle. Other than CNG, you get a separate petrol fuel lid on the rear side, which is in its typical position. Let's move on to the rear profile. And then you open the white tailgate and you'll see our beloved twin cylinder technology, which is why this vehicle has been introduced this time with iCNG tech. So we'll talk about it in a while. Let me just tell you what all you see on the tailgate. You get a reflector strip here, which you don't need to get it installed separately like I mentioned. You also get to see the parking sensors right below the tailgate. Now, like I promised, let's talk about the benefits of the iCNG technology. Now I'm going to count on 5 such benefits that is going to really make difference for a person who is buying this vehicle. Number 1, it is going to be economical. Number 2, you can easily auto shift between fuels such as CNG as well as petrol. Number 3, it will directly start in CNG, and just in case that fuel is low on your vehicle, it will indicate on the digital cluster and start the vehicle in petrol fuel. Number 4, safety fuel. If the lid is open, then the car will not start at all. Number 5, the single advanced ECU, which means a seamless shift between the fuels CNG as well as petrol while maintaining an optimum air-fuel ratio for better performance. Now before I get inside the vehicle, please have a look at the dimension on the screen. Now I'm sitting in the driver's position, and you do get seat belts for driver as well as for the co-driver, but you do not get any seat belts for the rear passengers. I'll show you the seat arrangement in the back seat a little later. Now coming to the steering wheel, this one is not a power steering wheel, and you do get levers on the sides, on the each side, one for the indicators and the other one for the wipers. You do get digital cluster in front of you, which shows you the speedometer, odometer and trip meters as well, fuel gauge too. Other than that, you get the pedals in their typical position. You get a gearbox right here, and you get the handbrake here as well on the side. As for the storage, you do get some of the compartments. For instance, you can keep some of your things here in front of the co-driver, wherein you see a USB-A port. Other than that, these things are all gimmicks. You do not get anything specific here, but you can get it externally installed. You do get a CNG physical button here to switch from one fuel to another, and there is another additional glove box here which can be locked using your car key. See, speaking for the comfortness, as a person who will be driving this vehicle, the position looks really very sturdy and fit and fine. You sit upright, you can see the roads clearly, you get a wider windshield as well, and even if you are on longer routes, the upholstery also feels comfortable. So the driver's position is really very comfortable. Now let me sit on the co-driver's seat and talk more about the comfortness of the car. See, as much as the driver's seat is comfortable, I would say I am feeling a little bit uneasy sitting in the co-driver's position. The first thing is that it feels a little bit lifted than the driver's seat. The second thing is the window, because this wavy pattern on the window, the shape of the window is little bit uncomfortable for me to, you know, rest my hand on the window. So this is something that I didn't like for the person who will be sitting in this position. So I would rather prefer to sit in the driver's position or in the back seat, which I'm going to show you now. But before I do that, let me show you the additional grab handle that you get for the person who will be coming and entering this vehicle from this side. So this is the seating arrangement at the back, which can hold up to 8 people in total. The 2 of them can sit here where I'm sitting. 3 people can go at the back bench, and 3 passengers will be sitting on this bench facing these 2 passengers who will be sitting in my position. Now, is it comfortable or not? Well, the seats are flat benched, so these are comfortable to sit. It can hold up to 8 people, like I already mentioned. The upholstery feels comfortable, just like it's there on the driver's as well as co-driver's seat. Now, what is the basic usage of this vehicle in particular? Commercially, this vehicle can be used for public transportation or can be turned into a school van. Knowing everything about the Tata Magic Express by fuel, what is going to be your purpose for buying this vehicle? Let me know that in the comment box.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Times Drive. I'm Ankur Taneja, and today we have a very special guest with us, Lance Benett, who is the Vice President at Mercedes-Benz India of Sales and Marketing. Thank you, Lance, so much for joining us here in this interview. We have the EQA with us. Mercedes has introduced this car in the Indian market. So if you can share some insights, features does the car have compared to other brands, and how the customers can, go for this new electric vehicle, EQA.
Sure. So yeah, we're very pleased to have this car here in India. It was first launched in 2021. It's been, for Mercedes-Benz, our most popular entry luxury electric vehicle. So we've actually sold more than 1.3 lakh EQAs since the launch. And we spec'd it specifically for the Indian market. So Burmester sound system in it, head-up display, and we've got a beautiful, luxurious interior, what we call the electric art-lined interior as well. Also put the AMG alloys on it as well, and put together a great package which we think our customers will like. So we're pretty excited to expand our electric range as well. So at the moment we've got 3, and this is the 4th electric vehicle in our range, and we've got more coming as well.
So how do you envision the luxury car market that is there in India? How do you think it's going forward, and what are the challenges that are there to convince the customers to go for the BEVs, and especially the Mercedes brand electric vehicles that are already there in the Indian market?
Yeah, so we've had quite a good success, at least in Q1. We've had 15% growth, and within the electric segment, we've actually had 6% of our sales as fully electric. So it actually increased 130%. So we're seeing a lot of interest in electric vehicles. Customers are wanting to talk to us about electric, and we are still continuing to offer a great range of internal combustion plus these new electric vehicles. I think offering our charging network within our dealer network as well, so we've got high-powered chargers within our dealers across the country, plus we've got an access to a charging app called Fitch Charging App, so it enables customers to be able to travel with the electric vehicles and charge around the country. When you purchase an EQA as well, you also get a charge wall box for your home installation as well, so you can charge, and whenever you leave home you can have a full battery, which gives you up to 560 kilometers range as well.
Also, you're talking about the charging locations that are there. So how are you planning to expand it in this year or maybe in coming year? So what are the numbers of chargers that we can expect to expand in the coming year or few months?
So we intend to increase our network coverage as well. So we've got 20 new service outlets that will open up in sort of Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities as well. And within these service outlets, there will be a high-powered charging station as well, so that you can charge there. Plus the tie-up with the aggregator app Fitch, whenever there's new charges, which I guess they're associated with, they'll be added, and so our customers can access them as well. So we see a lot of interest from charge operators developing and expanding their network of chargers around the country at the moment.
Now, when it comes to sustainability, this car has a lot of elements that are used from recycled plastic and a few other elements. So what do you think, are there any challenges to implement these kind of technologies into the cars, and have Mercedes-Benz India faced any challenges regarding that? You can share some few things and how you guys have addressed it.
Sure. I think we've got this ambition, we call Ambition 2039. So by 2039 we'll be carbon neutral. So that's the full manufacture to scrapping of the vehicle. So within the EQA we actually have recycled PET fabrics interior as well. Plus we've got a battery recycling plant in Germany as well, which allows us to recycle 97% of the battery as well. So I think these sort of initiatives really support our goal to be sustainable, and our view is there is no luxury with our sustainability. Our customers expect us to act in a sustainable way, and I think we're proving that with the development of recycled materials in our vehicles, and plans to have the recycling batteries as well.
So how does Mercedes-Benz India engage with and supports its local community here in India, and in what ways your communication strategies differ from the brands that are already there in the Indian market, the premium brands that are there? So what extra does Mercedes offers to customers when it comes to competition here in India?
Have connection with the community, so we're actually supporting women in education as well. So we've got a tie-up with a local university where we're promoting women to continue their education and expand. We also are connecting with the community, educating them about sustainability, and connecting with our community of EV customers as well. So offering events through our dealerships, which allow them to come together and meet like-minded people through exclusive curated events as well. So we're connecting customers and educating them about sustainability and what it is like to drive an electric vehicle as well.
My last question is, what upcoming projects are you most excited about here at Mercedes-Benz India, and what can customers expect in coming months or maybe by the end of this year?
So I think the first 6 months has been very busy for us. We've launched 6 new vehicles, but we've got another 6 vehicles to come in the second half of the year. So this is the first one, and we have another 2 electric vehicles. So that's very exciting for us as we expand our electric range. So by the end of the year we'll have doubled our electric range. And I think having that expanded range allows us to have a vehicle for every customer needs as well. So that's very exciting in terms of our transition towards electric, and offering our customers a choice now to an internal combustion engine vehicle. So it's an exciting 6 months ahead.
Thank you so much, Lance, for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And today we have with us is the Maruti Suzuki Brezza and the Tata Nexon. Now these 2 cars, especially Tata Nexon, has been fiercely competing with the Brezza for the #1 spot for some time now. Sometimes Brezza takes the lead and sometimes Nexon takes the lead. So in this video, let's compare them side to side and see which one offers more in terms of features, design and performance, and which one comes out ahead. So first, let's talk about the design of both these cars, and let's start with the exterior itself. Starting with the Brezza here, you get the chrome elements in the front grille of Brezza and the Suzuki logo in the chrome itself, and you get the combination of body color black and silver in the front bumper of Maruti Suzuki Brezza. You get the projector headlamps with the DRLs and the fog lamps here at the bottom. So in the front end of Tata Nexon, you get the LED DRLs and the integrated in the DRLs itself, and you get the two sensors in the front. Both the cars get the 360 camera feature, but Tata's played a neat trick in terms of placing the sensors in the car. They have given 2 sensors in the rear and 2 in the front, but Maruti has given 4 sensors in the rear. And the color combination that is there in the front of this Nexon is body color plus black plus silver skid plate that is there in the front end of this car. Now moving towards the side of both these cars get the same size tires, 16-inch 215 section tires, but the alloy wheels design is completely different. And apart from the wheel size and the alloy wheels differences that are there in both these cars, you get the cladding in both the cars over the sides, and you get the dual tone combination in the top end variants of both these cars. One feature that is there in the Brezza, which is not there in the Nexon, is the passenger side keyless entry features. So this feature is there in the Brezza and it's not there in the Tata Nexon. Moving towards the rear end of the Brezza, you get the full LED tail light setup apart from the reverse and indicator light, which is there with the halogen bulb only. And you get the Brezza branding in the center and the Suzuki branding in the rear. You get the 4 sensors with the reverse parking camera, and the same black and silver combination of the skid plate is there also in the rear bumper of this car. Now let's move towards the Nexon and talk about the side profile and the rear profile of this car. Over here you get the different alloy wheel design, which we already talked about, and the dual tone combination in this variant, which is the top end variant of this Nexon, the black and the purple combination that is there. And you get this similar kind of color combination in the interior also, like the exterior color that is there in this Tata Nexon. Moving towards the rear end of this car, you get the connected tail light feature over here and the Nexon branding in the center of this car, reverse parking camera, and the 2 sensors that are there in this Nexon. And in the rear bumper, you get the black and the body combination with the silver skid plate that is there. Both cars get the shark fin antenna, and the rear wiper of this Tata Nexon is hidden over here, which is quite a neat trick. Now 2 areas where Nexon is slightly ahead from the Maruti Suzuki Brezza is the boot space and the ground clearance. Brezza comes with a boot space of 328 litres, whereas Nexon comes with a boot space of 382 litres. And now when it comes to ground clearance, Brezza gets the ground clearance of 198mm and the Nexon gets the ground clearance of 208mm. Now let's talk about the interior of both these cars, starting with the Brezza. You get the 9-inch touchscreen front-end system with the Smart Play Connect features, and you get the climate control with the wireless charging over here and the USB charging point with a 12-volt socket. This is the AMT variant that we have with us today, and there's some space to keep your stuff over here, and the 2 cup holders, and the armrest is also slidable. You get the fabric seats even in the top variant of the Brezza, and apart from that, when it comes to steering wheel, you get the steering controls for the infotainment system on the left side, and you get the cruise control features on the right side of the steering wheel. And the steering wheel has that flat bottom feel over here, which gives it a sporty look. And the instrument cluster is part digital, part analog. You get the MID screen in the center where you get the average fuel economy, range, odometer, gear indicator, time, temperature. All the information is there in that MID, and you get the analog dials for the speedometer and the tachometer in this Maruti Suzuki Brezza. This comes with the smart hybrid feature, and on the right side you get the button for the HUD display that is there in the front of this car, which you don't get in the Nexon. And the overall feel of the cabin is nice, but it's not as premium as the Tata Nexon. Now how's the comfort in the rear seat of Maruti Suzuki Brezza? There's enough leg room, you got thigh support and enough headroom for an average height person like me, which is 5'9", and you get the armrest with the 2 cup holders over here, and the same fabric seats for the rear passengers. You get the AC vents in the center and the 2 USB charging points, USB-A and USB-C charging points for the rear passengers. A slightly better cabin space is also one of the reasons that you get the less boot space in the Maruti Suzuki Brezza. Now let's talk about the front row of this Tata Nexon. Now one thing that you'll realize once you sit inside the front row of this car, that the overall premiumness of the materials is better than the Brezza in the Tata Nexon. And you get the purple and the black combination in the seats and the leatherette seats in the top variants of this Nexon, and you get the purple and the black combination here in the dashboard as well. And the overall feel, yes, it's premium than the Brezza here in the Tata Nexon. You get the slightly bigger screen 10.5-inch screen in the Tata Nexon, and you get the automatic climate control features. And to control the fan speed and the temperature, you get the physical buttons in the center. Apart from that, all are touch buttons in the Nexon. But also there are a few things missing in the Tata Nexon. You don't get the cup holders in the center console over here, and you have to adjust your hand to put the USB charging cable in the slot over here. But you get the feature of the ventilated seats in the front row of the Tata Nexon that you don't get in the Maruti Suzuki Brezza. Apart from that, there is wireless charging. Moving towards the steering wheel, it also gets the flat bottom steering wheel with the digital Tata logo in the center and the controls for the infotainment system on the left side of steering wheel, and for the cruise control and to control the instrument cluster, you get the controls on the right side of steering wheel. And this also gets the full digital instrument cluster, which is not there in the Maruti Suzuki Brezza. So this is what Tata Nexon offers you in terms of front cabin and the features that are there in this Nexon. Now let's talk about the rear seat space of the Tata Nexon. Now the front seat of this Nexon was adjusted according to my height and preference, but the legroom is decent but not as good as the Brezza. Thigh support is good, seats feel comfortable, and you get the leather upholstery here in the rear seat as well. Armrests with 2 cup holders, center AC vents with 2 USB charging points, USB-A and USB-C. But as I said before, the cabin feels more spacious and roomy in the Brezza and not in Tata Nexon. And that is mainly because of the difference in the boot space of both these cars. So this is what both these cars offer in terms of cabin feel and the features that are there in the interior of Tata Nexon and the Maruti Suzuki Brezza. Now let's move forward and talk about the performance and drive factor of both these subcompact SUVs. Now the Tata Nexon comes in both petrol and diesel variants, but the Maruti Suzuki Brezza is only available in petrol. We have the petrol versions of both these cars with DCT and automatic transmission combinations. I will be discussing the petrol variants of both these cars. First, let's take a look at the specifications. On the paper, Nexon looks more powerful than the Brezza, and this holds true on the roads as well. The 1.2-litre petrol engine delivers good power and torque both in city and highway conditions. However, being a 3-cylinder engine, it becomes noisy when revved on highways, and this extra noise is noticeable in the cabin. On the other hand, Brezza's 1.5-litre 4-cylinder engine feels much more refined, delivering good performance in city conditions and reaching triple digits without making too much noise. The Nexon is one of the safest cars available in the market with solid build quality and stability at high speeds, which is an advantage compared to Brezza. Both cars feel comfortable during long and short drives, but the Brezza slightly edges out in this department. The suspension setup and braking performance are well sorted at both slow and high speeds in both these cars. Now let's talk about the elements that I liked about both these cars and I didn't like about both these cars. So first, when it comes to exterior and the interior of the Nexon, it's slightly ahead because it looks modern in terms of exterior and it offers premium interiors compared to the Brezza over here. Now the element that I liked about the Brezza is the overall cabin space, which is better than the Tata Nexon. The third element which I liked about Nexon is the features. You get more features in the Tata Nexon compared to Maruti Suzuki Brezza. And the final element which I liked about Brezza is the engine refinement and the overall smoothness of the engine that is there in the petrol engine of the Brezza compared to Tata Nexon. It's silent and it's smooth at the same time. The advantage of the Nexon lies in its better looks, safety, more features and a more powerful engine. However, the Maruti Suzuki Brezza excels in terms of cabin space, engine refinement, smooth drive, better mileage and comfort. Additionally, the top variant of Brezza costs slightly less than the Nexon. For my requirements, the Brezza makes more sense. Nevertheless, both cars have their pros and cons, so you can choose the one that better fits your needs.